a bit in the old Farm 3CX today. It's a E-Reg black cab. Bloody good old machine really. It's done a lot of work in its life and there's not a lot of love been given to it by its previous owner, or maybe even this one. I'll tell you what, you do forget just how much gear you can move with one of these front shovels. We've got a 6-ton dumper here and she fills it in 3 scoops, which I think is pretty impressive. Now I am by far not a backhoe operator. The boys who used to run these things day in day out, I've got a lot of respect for, because there is definitely a technique to driving one, and I just haven't done enough hours really. To be honest, this is the only JCB I've really driven. Come on girl, she's still got some power in her. Still the old bucket. God knows how many hours it's done. Clock says 3,500. I really doubt that's true. It does a good job. The back end on it is completely like destroyed really, slew box wise. So that's quite difficult to operate. Even regardless of the X pattern problem, which obviously is the age-old, you know, being a 360 operator, I've been used to mini diggers and that sort of control pattern. No, it's a good old girl this really, it doesn't do a lot, but you know what, when you need it, it fires up, starts and is, and bless her, she'll do a day's work. I actually really love these. This is the machine that was, you have one on the bedroom wall, you know, the poster machine. When I was a kid in the 90s, people were still driving these, and particularly the grey cabs and stuff, and this was the machine I always wanted. A bit sad really, but whoever make it, millionaire, whatever, you know, maybe not from doing what I do for a living, but you know what I mean. Win the lottery. I actually would have one of these, as genuine as I can find it, and restore it to decent working condition. I just love them really. I think they're great machines, and I probably would spend a bit more time learning how to drive it properly. We just loaded some soil here. This is a bit of fill just to make up an area. Got the 8-ton machine at the other end doing the tricky bit. So I'm just doing a bit of loading with the Jake, which does very well really. You know, nothing like doing a bit of digging on a Saturday for fun. Not like I do enough of it in the week. Yeah, that's, I think 4 buckets in that 6-ton dumper is too much really. That's a full dumper. So I don't know how many it would take to load an 8-wheeler. Then you guys will. I've done it loads. I bet you could do it 10-15 minutes, no worries, on decent ground. Yeah, good old girl really. Everything about it is, yeah, just, you know, old, but still does a day's work. Yeah, good machine, love them really. Anyway, that's what we're up to today. So yeah, early or late 80s I guess on the E plate. 86, 87, probably 87, 88 machine, Hammermaster, proper Hammermaster, 4-wheel drive, but it's had a lot of work out of it. God knows what its history is. But I mean, these things make a great sort of farm machine, a real weapon in the right hands, and it's a shame, yeah, we don't see them so much on sites these days. It still says obviously for hire on the boom, which makes me laugh because good luck if you had this thing for hire. Yeah, it's done all the work. Did have a quick hitch put on it. Obviously they're pretty cheap. 3CX buckets are cheap to get hold of, so we've got all the different buckets for it. We did have a grab hanging off it at one point. That was quite good fun, like a clamshell grab modified. It's done all kinds of stuff, and some of the lights even still work. It's a real testament to how these things were built. The black cabs don't suffer quite so much from the rot as the later kind of grey cab model, but of course this whole perspex door, which is why it's missing a door on the other side, which is actually glass doors. Sorry, they come with glass doors. They just shatter if you know, you catch her on a tree or something, and that's why this one has never had a door. The rear window remains up because the roof leaks because someone drilled a beacon through it years ago. You know, usual thing, but it is a pretty tidy, straight old girl. Perkins engine, they go on forever. Not really a lot to go wrong with that. Yeah, the front bucket I think has done a lot of snow ploughing in its life. You can see the jaw doesn't quite line up with the back of the bucket anymore. I don't know which bits wanked out. To be honest, it looks like there should be a lot more meat on here if I remember rightly. But anyway, as I say, it's done a lot of work. But a true testament to JCB in that she still starts stigs. You know, shifted a few ton today, and does a job. And there's plenty of people still driving these things in anger. So yeah, come on a long way. Maybe they've lost their backhoe reputation a little bit, you know, but they still say, I think it's every 1 in 2 or something, is it 1 in 4? There's a big number anyway of backhoes sold worldwide are JCBs, and there's a reason for it. This was a revolutionary machine when it came out in the early 80s, and you know, really holds a good place in excavating history. Although this one is definitely consigned to history as far as hire game goes. So the back end on this thing is pretty horrendous. It's done a lot of work, bless it, and the X pattern's alright to use actually. I don't find it too bad. Again, I'm no expert at all, but the slew on this is just, that's how much play we have in it, which doesn't seem too bad, but obviously makes it very difficult to really do any proper work with if you want to. Yeah, it's a good old dog for the farm, but as far as actually doing a lot with it now, the pins are all done for, and king post has got probably a good 2 inches of play in it, maybe more. You know, it's done a lot of work, bless it, and it starts, it steers, and again, I've got total respect for the boys who used to drive these things properly. They're a real weapon in the right hands, of which my hands are not them, but you've got your own, you specialise. I'd love to see them more on sites, but they're not about so much these days. Thought of owning one myself and doing a bit, but I'd have to learn to drive one properly, and it's also having the work for it really. So just you need a bit of space to operate one of these properly, but of course they have so many advantages. You know, over a track machine as well. So yeah, that's the old girl.